Hello, my name is Richard Hosnout, and I deeply appreciate you considering the presentation you'll see in just a moment regarding quantum idea generation that generates at least 12 times more ideas than brainstorming. This is a process that I've been using for decades in my business, Innovate to Grow Expert. You can learn more at i2ge.com, the number 2ge.com. And this is just a rough prototype. It can be adjusted in length and a number of different things. So I appreciate your consideration and would love the opportunity to share this with your broader audience. I think it applies to everyone in every situation that needs ideas. Thank you. Ideas, ideas, ideas. No enterprise would ever be successful without ideas. Now, at this time, you're probably saying, oh, Richard, stop. You need more than just ideas. You need to choose the right ideas, and you need to execute those ideas with excellence. And you're right. But you want to know something? If you don't start with having ideas, then you can never choose the right ideas, and you can never execute them with excellence. When it comes to ideas, let's take a peek into the company Widget Incorporated. Let's take a look at what the Vice President of Sales is doing right now. She just learned from her people in the field that a major potential customer is looking to replace a product that's competitive to theirs, and that there's an opportunity for us to replace them. Now the challenge is, this is the first time it's happened in 7 years that they've been looking to replace this other product. And they've tried several times to make the sale and been not successful. So she needs some big breakthrough ideas. Well, let's get down the hall now and let's talk to the Vice President of Marketing. He has just learned from his R&D department that they have a major new technological breakthrough that they believe they're going to be able to patent. And the Vice President of Marketing instantly sees that this has the potential to be the company's biggest product ever. But he knows to go from that to an actual product that he needs lots of big, powerful ideas to make that happen. Let's go further down the hall and walk into the President and CEO's office. We talked to her, and here's what she says. She was at a social event over the weekend, talked to a fellow President and CEO who told her that a major new company was thinking of entering their category of products. She knew instantly that this could be one of the biggest threats her company ever faces. She needs powerful, high horsepower, high chances for success ideas. Where are they going to get these ideas? If you're like most companies, you're going to do something probably like this. The Vice President of Marketing or Sales, the President and CEO is going to say, hey, this is serious. Why doesn't everybody get a notepad and write down your ideas? Well, people are going to go back to their offices and start writing those ideas down. And then the boss is probably going to say, hey, why don't we get together and share ideas about what you've written down? Here's what's going to happen. There is virtually 100% chance that you are not going to get the breakthrough, powerful, high-octane ideas you need to deal with the opportunities and challenges that the company faces. Because you're going to get into a meeting and start sharing ideas, and here's what the ideas are going to be. They're going to be all things that you've tried in the past, or tried in the past and have actually worked. But they're going to be small ideas. And even if there is the nugget of an idea there, the ideas that are going to prevail in this sort of meeting are the person with the greatest number of stripes on their sleeve. Whoever is the most senior person, they're going to be the brightest and best person, and those are going to be the best ideas. So writing ideas down on a pad and getting together and share them really isn't going to work. You say, okay, well, Richard, there is a far better way to do this. It's called brainstorming. Brainstorming. Been around forever. What happens in brainstorming? Well, you get together and people say, hey, I've got this idea, I've got that idea, and you start combining things. It's not a whole lot better than the first version because you're basically sharing ideas that you've tried before and worked, or tried and not worked. But you're trying to combine them in a kind of a fun sort of environment. Here's what happens. while you had virtually 100% chance of not succeeding before, your chances now go up to all of 10 to 20% that you're going to get the high-powered ideas to deal with the challenges and opportunities that you're facing. So who are you going to call? No, it's not Ghostbusters. Don't call Ghostbusters. Here's who you're going to call. You're going to call people who know quantum idea generation. Why? Well, this is a process that has been proven to generate at least 12 times more ideas than brainstorming. How do I know this? Well, version 1.0 was developed by Doug Hall at Eureka Ranch, a great innovator, a great inventor. And Eureka Ranch was one of the places that people went to invent new products. Well, Doug took that process and twice Oklahoma State University ran test and control studies and concluded that the process that he used, version 1.0 of quantum idea generation, generated 12 times more ideas than brainstorming. Then my team at Innovate to Grow Experts developed version 2.0, a much more powerful version of quantum idea generation. And while we've not run the tests, we have a high level of confidence that it will generate at least 20 times more ideas than brainstorming. At least you think that this is just more sort of junk ideas. When I go through this, you're going to see that it's not only more ideas, but the additional ideas that you get are very, very big ideas. Okay, so how do we make this work? There are 4 critical components to quantum idea generation. All of these work together. The first of the 4 is diversity. By diversity, I mean the wide variety of experience, skills, and capabilities that you bring into the room. Typically, we bring in 3 different constituencies. First, we bring in a very diverse and talented group of experts from within the client, like from sales and marketing and R&D and research, supply chain, whatever is necessary relative to the objective. So we start with a very diverse group of experts from within the client. To that, we add a group of external experts with relevant capabilities that do not duplicate what the client does. And these are typically world-class experts from major universities, people who are conducting research in a wide variety of different ways or have been successful in different areas. It's all tailored to the unique need that a person has for ideas. So that's the second group. The third group that we bring in are people who have big picture business perspective. They could be general managers of businesses, people that have been in innovation and creativity for an extended period of time. So diversity to get those really big, high-powered ideas with high chances for success, 3 groups of people. Internal experts, relevant external experts with expertise and capabilities that don't duplicate, and big picture people, usually from outside the company. Now, the second critical component is stimulus. You need to bring into a creative session provocative, inspiring, and even jarring stimulus that opens people up to new possibilities. It can be how people around the world are dealing with the same kind of situation that you are, but you've never seen it. It can be breakthroughs in science that none of the people inside your company are aware of. That stimulus can come from a wide variety of ways. Let me give you a personal example that I've used many times to demonstrate just the singular power of stimulus. When I was taught at Arizona State University, I used to run this exercise routinely with my students each year. I would ask them to take out a pad of paper and write down all the places that they would like to go on vacation. And when they were done, I asked them to draw a line, and then in small groups, I had them go to the back of the classroom where I had laid out hundreds of travel brochures and printouts from websites and all that sort of thing. And I asked them to go through all of this, and if they found additional places that they'd like to go on vacation, to add it to the list below the line. All the students did that. We came back and they added up the number before, the number after. In years of doing this, The minimum increase in ideas that we got from this very simple introduction of stimulus was 3 times more ideas than they had in the original go at it. Many times we got up to 4 times ideas, 4 times the number of ideas than they originally had. That's just the power of stimulus. So we've talked about diversity, bringing powerful stimulus into a creative session. The third element is know your brain types. No, you don't need to be a brain surgeon to do this. Don't please get too upset about this. In the area of creativity, there are some powerful myths. Some people believe you're either born creative or you're not. Other people say, well, there are creative types, and then there's the rest of us who are not creative types, whose ideas are barely worth anything. All of that is a myth. Here's what study after study after study shows. We are all equally creative. Left and right brain people are equally creative. They just go about it in very, very different ways. So the first thing you want to know is, what is the makeup of left and right brain thinkers in your room? There are ways of easily determining that. Let me just give you a quick example of an exercise we use with a room that's full of left brain people. We ask them to take out a pad and, working individually, to write down ideas that they have relative to an exercise objective that we've given them. Then we ask them to share their list with one other person. So they're sharing in pairs. The objective is to make each of the ideas bigger and stronger. And then we get them together with another pair. So there's now 4 sharing, and they're all trying to take the ideas and make them bigger and bigger. And then we ask them to share all those ideas with a larger room. Very straightforward, very logical, step by step. Now flash forward to a sort of exercise that we might do in a right brain group. We flash up random images. It could be a picture of a polar bear, followed by a picture of a cash register, followed by a picture of a Tesla. It could be random set of pictures, and we ask people that any time that they see an image to quickly write down single word ideas that they have. We then put all the ideas into a pile and we randomly pull out these ideas, and then we ask them to take those ideas and generate even more ideas. Well, when you run a right brain exercise with left brain people, this is the kind of response you get. And this is a true story from a client that was very heavy left brain. I was running an idea generating exercise. I needed to shake people up, so I ran a right brain exercise for left brain people. I'm 3 minutes into the exercise, and the senior person from the client stands up and says the following, direct quote, "Richard, do you have any idea what you're doing?" You know, one of those confidence building things that you love to hear from a client when you're running a session, right? I said, "Yes, I know what I'm doing. Trust me, and let's revisit this at the end." You know, the shocking thing is that even left brain people, when they really get shaken up by a right brain process, are absolutely shocked by the quality of ideas that can come out of something that seems to them random and chaotic. Okay? So the kind of exercises that you bring into the room are very different based upon the makeup of left and right brain people you have in the room. So we've covered 3 components: diversity, stimulus, and know the types of left and right brain thinkers in your room. The 4th element is eliminate fear, have only fun. Here's how important this is. Fear kills creativity. What do I mean by fear? Well, when you're generating ideas, people are going, "Oh gosh, I have this great idea, but I don't want to look bad in front of my boss. I don't want to be criticized. I don't want to be ridiculed. I don't want to look like I'm a dumb person." So they hold back. That's fear. So we do a number of things to reduce fear and increase fun. Here's why this is so important. I've been doing this for a lot of years. And when I'm running a creative idea session and a particularly big idea comes out of a group of 4 people, at a break I'll go up and say, "Hey, how did you guys come up with that absolutely great idea?" 9 times out of 10, here's what I hear. "Sue blurted out this absolutely wild and wacky idea. Then Joe said, 'Oh, and we could do this.' And then Ellen says, 'Oh, and I really think this would work too.' And then Sam kind of pulls it all together. And all of a sudden we had this big idea that we all had big smiles on our faces." What's the lesson here? If there's not an environment where people feel free to blurt out wild and wacky ideas, you are not going to get the big breakthrough, powerful ideas that you need. Okay, so let's put this all together. You need to start by understanding the objective of the session. You need to choose the diverse group of people that you want in the room. People from inside the company, from outside the company, tailored to meet the unique needs and situations. Often you can find people outside the company that know big things, big things, that even high-powered companies don't know. Quick example. I was doing a project for Nestle, big, powerful international company with tremendous R&D capability. We brought in professors from Cornell, Ohio State, and Penn State, and they made presentations in the morning of the first session. At noon, the senior person from Nestle came up to me and said, "Richard, what I want to know is, how didn't we know this?" Big Nestle didn't know what these researchers at these three major universities were doing. And it essentially solved the problem we were there to do, and we did it in the first half of a day. Okay? So choose the right people to bring in the room. Secondly, tailor your stimulus. There's all kinds of categories of stimulus. I'm not going to go through all of them here, but you want to get a sequencing of stimulus that goes through. We use stimulus that shakes people up, shows them the world is a very different place. We bring humorous stimulus in. We do all kinds of things to inspire and excite people to create ideas. Then you want to make sure that the actual idea generating exercises that you bring in are tailored to the makeup of the people in the room, left and right brain thinkers. Are there things you need to do if they're kind of an even mix and all that? Yes, there are. That's details for another day. And while you're in the session, you genuinely want to take action to make sure that it's fair and free and safe for people to blurt out those wild and wacky ideas. So you bring all that together, and what do you got? At least 12 times more ideas than brainstorming. You have the breakthrough ideas that are necessary. Now, is this all me talking up here about it? I mean, do I really believe in this? Yes, I do. In fact, I believe in it so much that my company is the only company that I'm aware of that backs this up with a $100,000 unconditional guarantee. That means no fine print, that we will generate big breakthrough ideas as measured by an independent research organization. So am I confident that this process delivers the disruptive innovations? I sure am, because here's also what I know. I know if you try to do the sit down and write numbers on a pad or just use people within the company to run a brainstorming session, here's what I know beyond a fact. People inside the box are incapable of generating out-of-the-box ideas. Clayton Christensen, who wrote the seminal book, The Innovator's Dilemma, agrees strongly with that conclusion. So you want the big ideas? It's as simple as quantum idea generation. Thank you.